Hello and welcome to another set of turns here with the False God. I am playing today as Phaeacia, and we're doing our first little expansion bits. All right, so let's jump in. So I skip turn one because you can't, we can talk about everything that happens in turn one on turn two, and you're gonna see we had an exceptional turn one. I hit the mic there. This went well enough that Phaeacia is having a great start was called in the chat on turn two, and it is all because of the shipwreckers. I I think the only thing better than getting the shipwreckers to spawn on turn one is getting them to spawn on turn two. And that is only because it is possible for someone else to outbid you on turn one. Because I believe if everybody just bids the maximum amount, it's not random. There's some kind of a set list, like it's like by like nation ID. So if somebody else bids the max amount, you won't get the shipwreckers, and you have the same amount of gold as everybody else on turn one. Starting on turn two, you won't, because we are on an island, which means that we have so much income, so much more income than everybody else has access to with our Orichalcum mine, bringing in 150 gold per turn and 100 resources. So we did, in fact, bid our full 400 gold on these shipwreckers, and they're going to be worth every penny, I am confident. Now, what that means is we didn't recruit any units, obviously. So our only expansion this turn is going to be with the shipwreckers into the water. I want to more... So the shipwreckers are super strong, and I don't expect them to lose to any of these indies. But the most important thing for them to do is win the first fight. Because once we have an underwater province, we can start recruiting, and so we could eventually, even if they died, take the rest of the water. If we didn't get these shipwreckers right, we wouldn't be going in the water until we found some kind of an underwater critter site on the coast and had to spend a huge number of turns recruiting a whole bunch of shitty troops. No, we got shipwreckers. We're going in the water. Our prophet is going to be our scout. As we sort of talked about in the nation overview video, you can't see any of your provinces, and you can't sail to any of these provinces using your dark ships because we don't have dominion in them. So we can only do regular sailing. Your starting army is small and has a small, not small, is human sized, a human starting army, and has a human captain. So if you recruit the Colossi Light Infantry, you will not be able to send them with this guy unless you get the Dominion spread. So that is why we are recruiting a bunch of our light infantry for our first party. And you can see, right, the guy we can't fit into this turn of production is going right into the Colossi Light Infantry. I think this is... for expansion, we don't intend to be producing Phaeacian light infantry again. Right, the only human-sized troops we're really intending to produce in the future might be the archers for wind guide and flaming arrows plays. We're also going to get a weaver going, just to help maximize how many units we can get into this party for our resources. She only costs one resource. And the other mage we're going to likely to recruit early, right, is our Storm Captain, and he costs 38 resources. So substantial difference there. Let's go ahead, though. We can check out everybody's pretender names. Talos the First is the commander of Ulm. This is not a picked name. The Slug King for Agartha. Press X to doubt Nazca. I think Nazca... Let's look at Nazca. Nazca is doing the Nazca thing, so they don't have a prophet yet. But I believe Nazca's god name is something like Scales or Pacifist Scales. Yeah. Sure. Other ones: Tabos, Spicy Boy, Gary the Snail. Okay, that's Agartha. The Rock from the Sky, Meme Guy. Okay, so Asphodel already told everybody what his god is and what he's going to be doing in the game chat beforehand, because he asked if it was okay, because it is so troll. It's very memey. It's gonna ruin the day of whoever he fights. He is getting a Titan of the Underworld, and has stated that his plan is to march that Titan of the Underworld right onto somebody's capital to start assassinating and trying to dom kill them. So that sounds terrible. That was part of why I wanted to get the island, because I did not want that to happen to me. Also, I guess worth talking about, while we don't know who our neighbors are, we know who our neighbors aren't. They are not Pelagia and Yes. I don't know exactly which spots they're in, but they're over here with all this lovely, lovely land between us. So if Yis wins, it's problematic, because Yis could then try and fight their way through the nations that are located on land, and then get to us. If Pelagia wins, they've got a long way to go. They're probably going to have to like teleport to get to us. Otherwise, it's hard for them to fight, I think, claim this much land at this sort of skill level. But okay, let's look at the rest of the... Yeah, X'd out on Nazca. Nice map, Mr. Host. I think we spent time trying to get the map together or something. Drithel. I feel like a defender of the Dom server. I feel like I recognize that name, but I can't exactly remember who that is. Oh, he does like the clockwork server thing. Yes, very important. Phalegra is Blessless. We have Iago from Aladdin, which I had to defend myself because somebody said I hadn't renamed. But this is indeed a rename. I guess it just isn't renamed enough. And Yes is, it looks like no rename, or Cyan. I mean, Sinidi. It looks like it's not renamed to me, but I don't know. But anyway, we've got the shipwreckers. People already think that we're a problem in the game chat. Again, amazing start for Phaeacia has been called on turn 2. Getting the Orichalcum mine and then being able to also get all of this gold is pretty insane. We are a little unlucky in that this is water still, when I think it could have been land, but it's ultimately okay because we have the shipwreckers. So okay, let's go ahead and jump into turn 3. Turn 3. I'm trying to do this one a little more timely than some of my other videos, right? I'm only on like turn 30 or something here. So we get our battle against some Marrow. So Marrow are pretty garbage. I mean, these guys, 23 hit points, 13 protection, 14 defense. They hit for 27 on a 10 attack. They start with some experience. The dude in the back, blessing himself, it doesn't do too much. He does become enlarged though. Or he already was enlarged, but he's a bigger. These guys tend to just chop through stuff. Okay, apologies. I paused it because I thought the dogs were about to do something insane. I'm watching some dogs for a friend as well as my own dog. But these guys are just huge houses. If you've never had the shipwreckers before, they are insanely good at expanding. We did lose a couple of them. We lost 4 of them. So about 20%. But they beat, twice as many Marrows. And so we are now under the water. Nazca has kitties and puppies and stuff. And they are doing an Apu, right? So this is where they recruited the Apu turn 1 or whatever, suicided it, so it became a priest, and then prophetized it so that it could start immediately summoning Sapayas. We can also... There, dogs. Okay, we're back again. Hopefully the woofing has subsided. We don't have to deal with that anymore. For at least a little while. Oh, my mouse is dying too. Everything's turning against me. So we managed to capture this. It looks like we forgot to put PD in it. Whoops. Whoops. But we're gonna just keep marching these guys. We can now see a bunch of units on different provinces that we can look to attack. So heavy infantry and heavy cav and heavy infantry, wolf tribe, that's a throne, and then this is light infantry, militia, and archers. So what I'm thinking here is that, so we have the ability to hit any of them in any order. The most important thing is to secure, as much gold as possible. And to do that right, we really want to make sure that we're trying to grab this. These are both in our sort of sphere of influence. We really wouldn't stand to let somebody else have them, but this could be a good province, right? It's plains. This one has got a house on it, which I assume is a good thing. This plains over here as well. We don't have to. We'll probably leave this one for later. Right, that's not a key. That's not a key acquisition for us. But this one's important. It's just a little bit difficult to get at. So we're going to go ahead and expand this way with the mercenaries. And we're going to take this group of a whole bunch of our little light infantry with javelins and archers. And we're going to send them after these light infantry and archers. This group is definitely going to take some losses and definitely at risk of, I don't know exactly how much they're going to pull off. What you can, again, do, though, which is really nice as Phaeacia, is once you get your dominion spread or with the right sailing, like they could take this one, right? And if this province is really hard, they don't have to, like, go home or wait for... You can send reinforcements, but I could also take them and send them over at this province, which is easier. Or somewhere over, they could go and reinforce up here. So you just have a lot of mobility and a lot of ways to make your expansion work for you. So now we're going to recruit one more Colossi Weaver and a bunch of light infantry. And the next turn we'll get a Storm Captain with light infantry and look to expand again. We are watching the mercenary list. We currently don't have anywhere to put them because they will not have sailing. They will just have dark ships. And currently dark ships isn't on. So we don't have anywhere to put mercenaries yet, but hopefully in the future. So what we're going to do then is go to the next research. We're researching Alteration 1. This is going to give us aim and false fetters on our Colossi Storm Captains. This helps a lot against like heavy cav. And in general, but particularly against the hard units. And then Evocation 2 is going to give us access to Lightning Bolt, which again is going to help us take down heavily armored units. So some expansion, because we're going to be doing some mage expansion, we need to get spells for the mages to cast. Let's go ahead and jump to turn 3. Probably try and go through like the first 5, like we normally do for expansion videos. Nazca, now Nazca did the prophet. I feel like, I'm off on my turn because I skipped turn 1. We need to go to turn 4. I was like, we just saw that. Turn 4. We finished Alteration and the first level of Evocation, and we've got a couple battles. So first, this is us trying to get a foothold on land. Not a ton of opposition here. Nothing exciting. This could be Baratos expansion. With your first party. But we ultimately break through. Not a lot of units here. They're going to rout off. Pretty straightforward. We lost 1 light infantry, which is pretty good. Pretty good for us. And then these dudes are going up against a caster and nets that these Ichthyeids have. But they have enough protection that even with the nets, and the Ichthyeids have no real defense, right? They're just going to chop right through them. And then they rout. And they lost no one. These War Shamblers are insane. So, we now have the ability to attack additional water provinces. So, we're attacking this one. We're going to rebid. We're going to rebid the Shipwreckers, and we're going to send a big bid on the Bandar Band. This is probably an overbid, but we had money. We're going to bid the Bandar Band over here, I believe. We're attacking this one. I feel like earlier we saw there were more enemies here, and I didn't want to lose these. I wanted to get this wrapped up rather than go like this. It doesn't make a ton I'm trying to. This is worth a lot, is why I did it, right? This is worth 10,000 population. These ones are worth less, and this one's probably worth less. But I think I was too afraid of losing these. I probably could have just tried for a more efficient path. But in any event, we're attacking here, and this group is going to sail over and attack here because I think it's going to be more valuable. And they have sailing, they can do it. And we're going to get the Bandar band here who can then look to attack here. And then, like I said earlier, we're going to go ahead and recruit a Colossi Storm Captain and more light infantry for another party. So we're rebidding and bidding. We're not bidding on the villains at this time. Jeez. One of the dogs I'm watching is some kind of a hound mix, and he makes a very loud woo-woo-wooing. And it grates on my sanity. Okay, so yeah. So it's turn 4. We're trying to double expand. Which is about on par. So let's go ahead and we'll jump to turn 5, and then we will call that probably the episode. MA Crusade, turn 5. Phaeacia. Vanheim has made Krampus their prophet. We have a battle in the seas. And again, our dudes are just going to crush them. I think we may have lost some. Nope. 100% victory. Here, we're up against another party of kind of garbage. Small amounts of enemies. There are some of these heavy infantry, but we do manage to chop through them just fine. And we win this one as well. We did lose 5 guys this time, which hurts a little bit more. We got the Bandar band, and one of our heroes with misfortune 2. One of our heroes has shown up on turn 5. Now this is not the better hero. I don't remember if our other hero has a minimum arrival time. He might, because I think he is the better hero. But this hero can do some pretty neat stuff. So she has all magic that we already have access to. But she's holy. She's stealthy. And she's a spy. So we can go and steal other graphs. Now, I want to wait. This is obviously our only spy. So I do want to wait until I can throw an extra stealthy item on her. I don't need her getting sniped. Because she's only stealthy 65. But she can join communions with the best of them. Gets a nice little extra bit of early research to help us out. So we are now attacking the Bandar band here. We're going to keep moving our underwater critters over here. Take this out. We're going against this. We've seen 40 enemies here and 20 enemies, so probably somewhere in the middle. We're going to be using our initial starting army as bait with our better army behind them. So these guys are in a line. They're going to run up and javelin them after they crash into our original guys. And this guy is back here. He's going to do aim and false fetters to try and make it easier to kill these heavy cav. So this was definitely a choice because this group is probably strong enough that they could have gone here by themselves. And this group is probably strong enough that they could have taken out maybe one of these. But I would, for safety, against the heavy cav, and this is going to be hopefully the most valuable province available to us as it is a farmland. This province, though, is crazy valuable as well. So we're going to want to get this as soon as we can, 15,000. But this has cataphracts. And then the Bandar band is going to take out these archers. And we are also bidding on the horsemen in 251. Oh no, that's our bid. Does it say where we're bidding them? Oh, land 38. Oops. Let's see. That doesn't sound like too many provinces. So we're going to bid the horsemen here. So our intention is to, I believe, take this with these two groups, bid the horsemen here, and the next turn these guys are all going to sail and take this, and then the horsemen take this. I think is our plan, while our other mercenaries continue taking provinces. So it's turn 5, right? We're triple expanding, and I think we have every intention of quad expanding next turn. So compared to the Phaeacia start you're supposed to have, right, where you don't get the shipwreckers, we have an extra income already of like 150 gold per turn, right? Where our income is almost 1,000 and our expenses are 98. We couldn't even spend everything down this turn. So that should translate into us being able to put up a bunch of forts early. We do want to try and have at least, if possible, right, 1 fort per coast, so that we can have a strong point we can defend and sail into. So at present, right, that looks like it should be this one, this one. We don't really know down here yet. This obviously is the most chance of having money. Same over here. Could be here, could be here. If we put it here, it's going to fight for resources, so kind of silly, but... this has death already in it, so pretty sure we're not doing that. Okay. We can also start to see some neighbors. We have Asphodel right over here. I feel very happy that I am on my island and not a target choice for Asphodel. Their stupid Hades Titan. We also know, so we have a mountain start and a mountain start and a mountain start. Oh, also we can see Shiniyama. So the Gabos are over here. That means that they might get this before us, but this is a pretty tough province. I'm not sure what they could have expanded with that they feel comfortable running into this yet. So I think we have time. They won't have any morale for it either because we've got the Dominion. But anyway, so mountain. I believe there are more mountains because it's me, mine. Contested, there's mountain, there's contested, there's mountain. Okay, there's mountain over here. There's a lot of mountains. But so there's a pretty good chance that one of these two are Kalem or Nazca. The other mountain nation is not Agartha because he's a cave, probably. Phalegra? Maybe. Yeah, because this is a cave start, so that's probably Agartha over here. But so we're probably next to minimum 1 bird, maybe 2 birds. So we're not in love with being next to the birds necessarily, but I will happily be next to the birds instead of being next to the water or Agartha. So we do need to check our diplomacy, right? Because we don't want Agartha to kill Shiniyama. At least not without us eating all, a substantial amount of this territory to prevent any Agarthan entries into our lake. Another thing sort of interesting, right, is this pond. If we do manage to keep our guys alive and keep rebidding them, it's possible that we could walk them into this pond. That is in the cap square, but not the cap circle of whoever this is. But it does have, it says it's low income. It does have boats, which help the income, but not sure. Could be dicey. But yeah, we're going to try to triple expand this turn. We're going to try and quad expand next turn. And depending on what's available, we might even be able to, quintuple expand or whatever it should be the turn after that. All of our mercenaries, like I said, they do gain our Dark Vessels bonus because it's just for Phaeacia in general. So if the Dominion spreads, this guy could even look to move, in other places. But for now, we're going to try and leverage our huge gold income and additional production that we start with to take as much territory as possible and use our incredibly lucky shipwreckers to take all this giant, glorious water territory that we have access to. We can't build underwater forts. Important safety tip. So we're never going to be able to fort stuff underwater to protect it. If we're going to protect stuff underwater, we have to actively do it. But anyway, amazing Phaeacia start, right? It's turn 5. We've already picked up, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 provinces. should be looking at having 9 provinces on turn 6. So lovely start. We have to try and see if we can keep it up. Thanks everybody for joining me, and I will see you all in the next one.